Yeah, sheesh. Oh
Tell me
man.
about Sheesh. I love that song.
Yeah, services, they hit me up and they showed me the song and they were like, "Oh dude, we think you'd be fire on this." And I was like, "Oh man, they don't even know. I'll kill it." I,
You do, dude. You kill it.
yeah.
This podcast is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about how you got to where you are now.
Oh,
Is that cool?
of course it is.
Awesome. So first off, tell me where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in two places, kind of.
Okay.
I spent like 6 years in Chicago, and then I spent like 8 or 9 years in LA in Palos Verdes and
Okay.
Torrance.
So you originally from Chicago?
Yeah, I was born in Torrance, LA, and
Oh.
then I moved up to Oregon for 5 years, and then I moved to Chicago for 6 years, and moved back to LA for like 8 years.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
most of your adolescents were in Chicago, it sounds like?
yeah. I mean, I think that when I was older, like going through like middle school and high school, that was in LA, and
Oh, it
then
was. Okay.
younger, then younger, it was like elementary school was in Chicago.
Got it. Okay. Well, how did you get into music?
I played piano when I was younger, like when I was like 10, 11. I played piano for 13 years, and then I played guitar for 4 years, and then I also played ukulele for 4 years.
Wow. Okay. What got you into piano? 13 years of piano. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not the greatest of all time or anything. 13 years seems like a lot, but it's just me just having the piano around me for a long time and taking lessons and stuff like that. But my mom actually was like, "You need to play an instrument," and I was like, "Okay, which one?" I think piano was the easiest because I could tell that um, when you press a note, the note comes out. It's not like the guitar where you have to like press it a certain way in order to come out the right way, you know?
Sure. Instead of knowing like how to play like a chord or push down the string and then hit it, it was just like
Yeah,
ding.
exactly. It just seemed easiest at the time, but now I kind of wish I would picked up guitar. That'd be cool.
I wish I would have picked up piano, man. Piano's so beautiful, and it's like it's like the framework for everything.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, and I took music theory in high school and stuff too.
So you started at 11 on piano. Was there something that drew you to piano, or you just aside from your mom just said, "Hey, you should learn
Well, I
something"?
mean, I always like instruments. And then piano is just a great instrument. Once you start playing, I just really like playing. My teacher would let me play like covers of popular themes or popular songs instead of classical music. So that kind of kept me going.
Oh, sure. Instead of saying, "Okay, you're going to play this scale a million times or learn how to play this classical piece," it
Yeah,
was,
I would still.
"What do you want
Yeah,
to learn how to play?"
exactly. I'd still play scales, but I'd play like the Star Wars theme and like the Jurassic Park theme and shit like that.
Oh, that's rad. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, I would imagine that would keep you interested if you weren't playing a bunch of crap that you didn't understand or care about. So
Exactly.
did you when did you start writing music? Was it kind of right away or stay in the covers land?
Um, so I started writing music probably 2, 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then, but I like dabbled in it, like, okay, what if I made a song type stuff? But in reality, I think I made my first like couple full songs like 3 years ago.
Okay. So when you were first learning how to play music, it was mainly just cover
Just learning how to
songs,
play the instrument, just learning how to play the
playing really
instrument.
instrument. Okay. Did you play it in high school? Like,
Piano. Yeah, I mean, I played piano. Like I was practicing like all through high school. I used to do like YouTube covers of popular songs and shit like that.
oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was always an interest. But what about like in class? Were you in the band or anything at school?
No, I was never in a band. Never did like choir. Never did any sort of musical thing in school.
Wow. So this is all kind of new in that realm.
Not really. I mean, the
Oh,
thing is, just because I didn't do it in school doesn't mean I wasn't like going at home and playing piano and stuff like that. And also during school, I was playing basketball. I was playing basketball a lot.
okay. And
Mhm.
then doing covers on YouTube. Oh, you did say that though. So
Mhm.
you still had that going. Right on. So from high school, do you then attend college for music? Were you pursuing it pretty hard or not really?
No, I was actually better, not really better, but I was playing basketball. I was like getting recruited for like by some D1 schools. All the
Wow.
teams that I was playing on like Nike teams, and one of my former teammates is Donovan Mitchell, who's like an NBA All Star shit. So he,
Wow.
other people too. Like I know a bunch of people that are in the league right now, at different varying degrees of, either at the G League or overseas or something like that, but a bunch of them are professional basketball players.
That's cool. And then you took a
I
totally different route. I mean,
Well,
obviously.
I mean, I was doing it. I was playing basketball, and then I took a prep year, which is like an extra year of high school, so I could try to go to an even better D1 school because I had like some offers from like UC Irvine and some like you know starter D1 schools, but I wanted to go like mid major, high major. But then I broke my foot, which is a typical story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
My hamstring doesn't work. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So that happened to me, and then I ended up going D3, played for a year and a half, and then dropped out because I didn't like it. I hated it. I don't think you can do school and basketball at the same time. I think it's impossible.
okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
imagine that being rough. That must have been crushing, right? Breaking your foot.
I mean, it was crushing, but I usually have a positive outlook. At the time, I was like, okay, I get a little break, and then I'll try as hard as I can to get back together and figure it out. I really usually, even though sometimes I'm sad, I usually have a positive outlook on things.
That's good. That's good. Good outlook, obviously. So then you get on a show, right? How far down the line is this the show you made on MTV?
So right after I dropped out of school, well, right before actually, one of my friends was like, "Look at this show. It's called Are You the One? You should try it. They win money." And I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm not doing that," just because I was like in school. And then once I dropped out, I was like, "I need money." I remember this girl told me that this you can win money on the show. Let me apply. And then once I got the call back to the show, I was like, "Oh, this may like what if this could work?" So then once I did that, I got through like 7 rounds of casting, and all the while knowing like I know, like I don't know what it was about me that just was so convinced, but I just knew I was gonna get it the entire time.
You
So
knew you're going to be on the show?
yeah, I knew I was gonna be on the show. I don't know what it was. I was just like, you know what? Why would they not pick me? That was my mentality the entire time. And then once I got on the show, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have the money. We're gonna win. You know, because not that wasn't me thinking that I had all the answers. It was just
Right.
the last season had lost. And I was like, you can't have two losing seasons in a row. That's just not interesting. You need to have the resolve. So I knew I was in the season that I was going to win. And then we won this money. And then now I'm 21 in LA with like 35 grand, which used to be 50 grand before taxes.
Wow. Okay. So, well, what made you like you were just done with school because you just said it was too tough with basketball and school at the same time, and you just kind of were like,
I never really liked school. School wasn't something that I was like so passionate about. Like I don't think a
okay,
lot of people are passionate about school when they're in. I think some people have the drive to like, learn the stuff that they're into, but I just wasn't. I had the drive to learn about math,
okay,
maybe, and then like the concepts of business, but not really dig too deep because I just wanted to learn by experience. I think
right,
was uh, a better way of you know actually collecting skills.
uh-huh,
Um, and I didn't have the wherewithal to say it that when I was like 21 or whatever.
right.
But yeah, I didn't have the long term thinking of like, oh, I don't want to be in these situations to where all these career paths go, so I should probably just leave. Um, and then I left, and then also I was not doing good in school either. I was doing so shitty. Um, so they were like, you can either reapply or not go back, and I was like, I'm not going back. Let's go to LA. Yeah, they gave me the option, and I was like, nah, like this, it's expensive. My parents were like, yo, you got to pay for everything, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I went to LA, and then they were like, okay, you got to support yourself. So that's why I did the reality TV show. Um,
Oh, wow. Where were you
yeah,
going to? Were you weren't in LA going to college at that point?
no, I was in Boston.
Oh, okay. So you left
Yeah.
Boston, go to LA, you get on the
Mhm.
show, and then you end up winning the show.
Exactly. So now I'm in LA with money as a
Yeah.
21-year-old, and it was kind of great because like right after my parents told me they weren't supporting me, I was like, okay, got some money, and then I picked the cheapest place. I picked the cheapest place to live. I lived in a living room that was like $500 rent, so I could extend it out, which was a very long term play. A lot of people like bought clothes when they that were on my season, or they went to the bars and clubs and like
Yeah,
that,
just
stuff.
wasted it all.
Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat. I just knew
Right.
that I needed to get here at some point.
Mhm.
So I was like, I need to buy as much time as possible. So once I bought the time, I was like trying modeling, acting. I did a podcast. I did stand-up comedy. I did social media marketing. I did all of it. And then I also was doing music, like with a couple friends and then by myself, but not really intensely, just like for fun, like dicking around.
Hmm.
And then yeah, once the pandemic hit, well, actually, once my money ran out, I had to get a retail job, and then I started working for Verizon, and then the pandemic hit. And all throughout those times of me living in LA, annually, I would go and I would audition for the American Idol and The Voice, and
Okay.
play like an original song. Um, and I never got past the first producer, never ever.
Really?
Yeah, I was bad. No, but rightfully so. I was trash. I was not good. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
look at you now. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, I think they're kicking themselves.
No, no, they're not kicking themselves because I wasn't good. It's like seeing a guy go in there thinking he's good is not something that you would choose ever. It doesn't matter what
Okay.
potential that you had, right?
Okay.
I had to go and practice for an hour and a half every single day in my car for 6 months. Oh shoot, an hour and a half every single day in my car for 6 months to get better. And then the first thing I did when I got back into the studio after not recording after those 6 months was 3 songs, and they're all on my album: Something to Cry About, Stuck in the Middle, and Bad News, I think. Real World,
Wow.
actually. Yeah,
Okay. And Stuck in
and
the
then
Middle
after
just
that, yeah,
blows up, right?
yeah, and then I put Stuck in the Middle on TikTok, and then it just blows up.
Wow. Oh, so you'd go, tell me about this going to your car. So you'd go to your car and just sing on the top of your lungs because
Well,
no
I
one's
mean,
around,
I
or?
was. I mean, I had a garage, and that's where I would practice my singing was in the car. Um,
Okay.
and so I brought my phone down. I think I saw someone just singing their car in a video. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it. 1,000 likes. I'll put the song on Spotify. I was gonna put the fucking song on Spotify anyways. Um, and yeah, I put it up, and immediately it got like 10,000 streams, which is like in like 3 days or something like that. And that was the most I had ever gotten on any song ever combined on all the music that I've ever put out, which is like 12 songs at the time that were all kind of on a different name called Tyler Semicolon. I actually changed my name too to Tai Verdes because people called me Ty already. So uh
Okay.
yeah. And then I
So
lived in Palo Verdes, so Tai Verdes.
Tai Verdes makes sense.
Mhm.
So you had songs out under the other name, and then once this Stuck in the Middle thing happened, that's when you kind of switched to Tai Verdes.
No, I made the whole plan before I switched. So I
Oh,
was
you
like,
did.
what's my
Okay.
yeah, I was like, okay, what's my thing? And then I focused on Tai Verdes because also the TV is the whole theme of my project.
Yeah, and the record TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So,
Well, it's no for the next 4 albums. It's my theme.
oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Like I got this shit planned out. I know the names of the next 3 albums.
My gosh. I love
Yeah,
that. That's so
yeah,
rad. Okay.
exactly. I know the colors of the cover art that it's about to be. Yeah.
Wow. You really have this thing planned out.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the full thing planned out at the time. I just knew I was like, what, what, what did I admire as a kid when I would listen to these artists? And it was like people who plan the shit out for years and years.
Mhm.
And that's how you get a fan base, is like actually trying to make a world for your fans, not necessarily just like writing songs. I'm really trying to put like the environment of my music out there for people to like dive into if they want to, you know.
Mhm.
But then there's obviously going to be the people who just listen to the radio song or whatever their favorite song is. But for the people who want to dive in, I want them to have a chance to do that.
I love that. That's really really cool. So
Yeah.
once the song blows up, I mean, tell me that I spoke to somebody earlier that kind of has a similar TikTok success. That I would imagine that's got to be something like winning the lottery. Like to see a song, like just stick something up there and then have it just kind of blow up. Like what are you feeling when you see that?
It was such a slow blow up. Like, and I don't even want to call it a blow up because it was so slow. It was like, okay, we're doing 10,000 streams a day. Now we're doing 15. Now we're doing 20. It wasn't one moment that really took me to like the next level of anything. Even now, like I haven't had any moment that has been like crazy huge to where it's been just broken through pop culture, except for maybe the video that went viral of me singing like A-OK for the first time.
Mhm.
Everything has been super slow. It's like, oh, I did Stuck in the Middle. And then a couple of my drugs videos went like semi-viral. And then a couple of my other songs went semi-viral. And then A-OK was like the biggest one to go like pretty viral.
Uh-huh. It's funny,
Yeah.
my drugs is, I mean, all your songs are great and catchy, but my 5-year-old son, like my 5-year-old son loves like the song Drugs, and he'll sing it. And I'm like, this is so good that
I love that.
he's singing the chorus to this song.
Wow. You got to take a video next time. Send it to me.
I will. No, I'm definitely going to. Yeah, it's funny. So I mean, with the success of the one song, I mean, Stuck in the Middle does really well. Are you like, how do you fall? Like, are you worried about following it up? Like now you have eyes on you, like, or was that not even a thought in your mind?
Well, I mean, I had been through the ringer of, social media multiple times before. I was on YouTube, Vine, Snapchat, Facebook, and I kind of understand and have like a healthy mentality where I just do not give a fuck about what people think at all in general.
Okay.
So when I put out a song, I was like, this is great that this is doing well, but if I like the process of writing music, which I really do, one of them is going to go, so I can, if as long as I keep writing the songs and keep promoting them, because honestly music isn't really about the music all the way. It's about the promotion of it. I think it's 50-50. I think a lot of artists will say it's like 80-20, is the music good and then promoting it to 20%. I really think it's 50-50, because you will not be able to grow your music without showing it to new people, and people don't want to be shown new shit. So TikTok is like the unlocking factor that will, it's kind of like those iTunes 30-second previews that
Mm-hmm.
happen where you click a song and you get the 30 seconds. But now pretend that's happening, but it's like you're forcing it on people who already have like-minded interests because of the TikTok algorithm. So you're having like these fans that are prepared to ingest your music, which is so crazy. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what's about to happen next, but I bet TikTok is about to be a part of it.
Yeah, man. It's really wild how it's curating these opportunities for people to just, I mean, and songs. I mean, how when it first came out, it was like dance moves and challenges, and now it's like breaking artists and, just creating careers for people out of, out of just songs, which is nuts.
Exactly. I really have no idea where it's going to go, but I think it's going to be a part of it. It's going to
Yeah,
be cool.
that's cool. That is cool. And so
Mm.
obviously you've had numerous success. I mean, getting a song to go well on TikTok and then having it follow up and having you put out songs that people are still gravitating towards and like, and then it makes it to the radio. Like, what was it like having your song on the radio for the first time?
Yeah, I heard Stuck in the Middle on the radio, maybe last year at some point,
Uh-huh.
and it was really crazy to hear someone, like say my name. This is Tai Verdes, but Stuck in the Middle. But it's all part of the plan, like I think that I wanted the arenas to sell out, so I had always envisioned it in my mind. So once it started happening, and then it like happened again with AOK, I was like, wow, so this is what you signed up for. You have to keep doing this over and over and over again, in order to have longevity. So that's what I'm really trying to think about, the longevity piece of this.
I like that. And you put a whole record out, which a lot of people aren't doing right now.
Yeah, that was the main thing that I think also I just looked at other people that I admired. Like, if I don't understand the mindset of like, let's put out 4 songs of a new artist so that when someone likes one of them, they only have 3 others. Like, you should be able, like, I think Russ talks about this where he's like, you should have a bunch of songs so that if someone likes you, they can actually become a fan of you, instead of being like, that's cool. Like, these are some cool songs. Having an idea behind the project and actually having like a body of work so that people can latch onto you is really important. That's another thing, that's probably different than me than other like TikTok people, is that I put like 13 songs out on an album.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like an EP or just keeping that one song, or
Yeah,
pushing
because
it.
I
Yeah.
feel like right now with the way streaming is and even TikTok is, people are focusing on a song, or they'll have say maybe 5 songs, and then they'll
Yeah.
curate it where like, I'm going to release this one song, I'm going to put a lot of attention on it. So like everything's a single instead of
Mhm.
putting out a full piece of work. Whereas that's what you
Yeah.
did. You're like, hey, okay, yeah, I have these singles, but I also have 13 songs on this record that are all great, and I want you to hear them all, not just, I'm going to slowly put one song out, a month for a year and plus, right?
Yeah. I think that, to be honest, in terms of promotion, you should treat every single song on the album like it's a single. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's what I'm doing. I promote all of my songs. You know, I think a lot of people will promote one of their songs,
Hmm.
um, and not really like, and that just means to me like you should want to promote all of them. That's I don't want to make a song that I don't want to promote. That's another thing I think about in the studio is like, why am I even singing the song if I don't want to sing it forever? You
Hmm.
know, because
Hmm.
you're going to be doing that on tour, which I'm really thankful for, because on tour right now it needs to be so from the heart, because if I didn't like these songs from the heart, I would be struggling right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, had you you probably hadn't done a whole lot of performing as far as like under Tai Verdes prior to this tour that you're on now. I would imagine, right?
No, I didn't do any touring. My first live show was Lollapalooza.
Oh wow. What was
Yeah.
that like?
Well, they said there was 35,000 people there, and
I'd
before I went
imagine.
out, yeah, I before I went out, I was like, listen, if you don't like this, then this is not for you. This is like your career changing moment. You either need to be performing less, or you need to like start writing more, producing out, or something like that, or just become like one of those artists that doesn't perform live, because this is like a part of it, you know. So when I went out there, I was like, let's just have fun and see what happens, and see and like have a true experience of, like, do I like this? And
Mhm.
when I did, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad, this isn't that hard. Yes, I could get better at it, but like it was a real cool experience to say that I actually liked it. And it was also even cooler to realize that I do like the process of writing music probably even more than performing. It's like one and two for me. So like I know that I always want to write music and make it compared to performing it.
Were you pretty nervous before you went out? I mean,
Oh
was there
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of pressure?
definitely pooped like 4 times that day. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think. And then you just you hadn't played yet, and then were you worried about how you're gonna like work the crowd, or like were these thoughts in your head, or you just went out and were like, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna nail it. I'm not even really concerned with
Well,
that.
yeah, exactly. I had been performing on like in the internet for a minute, my
Okay.
own songs. So I kind of had things that I brought in from those internet performances, like pointing at certain things, like my head when I would talk about my head, or like being super amped up at a certain part of the song. Like I kind of understood what needed to happen in order to keep people's attention while I was doing the stuff. So I just brought it all over to, live performing.
Okay. And now you're on tour with Quinn 92.
Yeah, and
What
Chelsea
was it like
Cutler,
to,
and
yeah, what was it
they're
like to
awesome.
get that tour? I mean, for a first tour, that's a pretty solid one to be on.
Yeah, it's really just like I look at it as really just knocking the rust off of everything, making myself a legitimate artist that is now a touring artist. 24 shows in front of, like, I think I'm doing at least like 2,000 people to 3,000 people a night, and sometimes up to like 8,000, 9,000 people. So it's like getting different audiences that care at different levels, because sometimes we'll go to some cities and people are like not there, and I'll have to like get them into it a little bit more than some cities where it'll be like, oh, they know who I am, they're singing all the songs. It just varies on location. So I'm getting the entire experience of performing in this last year of 2021, including like different size venues, going from like the shed venues that hold 10,000 to, like, after I do this tour, I'm going to my own tour, which is like 300 to 200 cap venues, and getting a small room experience. And then in 2022, we're going into like 1,500 to 800 cap rooms. So after this, in 2022, you're going to talk to me again, and I'll be like, yo, I'm good. I can perform this shit.
In 2022, we better do this in person too.
Exactly. Oh, hell yeah.
Because I knew we were trying to link it up that way, because you're just through. We're in Nashville now, but I'm originally from San Diego. But you guys just played here in Nashville, I think, right, the other day.
Exactly. Yeah, we did. We did. It was fun. I love Nashville.
That's cool. And then you're doing San Diego, one of my favorite venues coming up as
Mm.
well. Calco's is open air. It's at an open theater. It's dope. It's really cool.
Wow. See, now I can't wait. I need to get back to the West Coast as soon as possible. I've been out for a minute. I think I've
Yeah.
been out for like a whole month.
Okay. Yeah, I'm originally from San Diego, so that's cool that you're familiar with Southern California and LA and everything.
Exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. So was it difficult, like, or is it difficult playing so many shows in a row now? I mean, from not performing to now you're like probably playing what, almost every night?
Yeah, we've done like some we've done a couple like 4 show in a row nights and stuff like that. And what's crazy is there's levels to everything, and I think I wanted to be prepared for all of it. So I mean, right when I like got a team around me, like a management team and stuff like that, I was like, I need singing lessons. I need to know how to sing for long periods of time. And for this, Quinn and Chelsea said, I'm only doing 30 minutes. So it's not what Quinn is doing, which is like an hour 10, but it's like a place to start. Like, this is where I start doing the 30-minute set every single night. And then for my headline tour, I'm doing like 45 to 50 minutes, so I needed to train my voice because I've been singing before, but I need to train my voice in order to sing my songs live over and over again.
Right. Yeah. Cause it's a lot of work. It's like, people might think, oh, you just gotta go up there and you sing your song for 30 minutes, but it's like a full on, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. When I first started, I would like over sing and then my voice would be like super terrible. But now that we're in the flow of it and I've been doing this I guess singing professionally. Wow, that's a weird thing to say. Singing professionally for like a year. I think that's the best thing about humans, is that we can get used to everything.
Yeah.
Because I never in a million years thought I would be like one of those singers that could like sing every single night. But I guess I am now.
You got to adapt.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think you got to. I think you just do if you do it the right way over and over again.
Sure. That makes sense. And you have a new song out, Sheesh.
Yeah, Sheesh. Oh,
Tell me about Sheesh. I love that song.
Yeah, Services, they hit me up and they showed me the song and they were like, oh, dude, we think you'd be fire on this. And I was like, oh, man, they don't even know. I'll kill it.
You kill it.
Yeah. I went to the studio, did my little thing on it, sent it back, and they were like, "This is awesome. Let's put it out." We performed it at Lollapalooza too, and that was my first time like meeting up with those guys.
Okay. So was it all done like virtually?
Yeah, a lot of shit I have been doing has been done virtually.
Really?
Yeah. The next single I'm about to put out in the end of October is virtual. It was a virtual Zoom session.
Really? And is this going to be part of you? You said you got 4 albums already,
Yeah. Now we're about to go into season 2 of TV. This is going to be great.
Oh, cool. And will Sheesh be a part of that, or is that just something?
No, just like all my collaborations are just like
single, like one-off.
It's just me having fun, and then when it's my solo stuff, that's part of the world.
Okay. And that's going to start up again at the end of the next month?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait, man. I love what you're doing so far. And well, I'll have to catch you next time you come through, because it was like pretty for me. I was like, I got kids, and we tried to make it out, but I'd love to see you, especially you're doing a headline tour, so that's amazing. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day, man. I mean, sure, you're tired and you got to work every night to chat with me. I appreciate it.
Nah, man, dude, I'll talk anytime. This is my favorite thing to do.
Like I said, let's do this in person next time. But I have one more question for you. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I'd say if you're an aspiring artist and right now you're complaining about how big your audience is and you want to grow, I'd say that the one thing that you should do right this exact instant is take the song that you think is your best song and sing the first verse of it on TikTok literally at 3 p.m. today, and you're gonna get some feedback. And then if you like doing that, just keep doing that for an entire month. Do that for an entire month. Write more songs. Promote your verses. Promote your pre-chorus. Promote your chorus. And one of those things has to go. I'm trying to give people actual advice on how to get a fan base compared to this. Oh, just believe in yourself. No, it's not about that right now. It's about promoting yourself because you're an upcoming artist and you need to, put your music out there. And maybe you haven't, but if you want to grow, if you want to have an audience, if you're not complaining about an audience, then don't listen to me. But if you are, then you should listen. Bring it backwards.